Oh, okay, now my computer's bugging out. Okay, anyway, uh, good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever y'all are. Uh, I had been asked by Cuppu, the former server owner of the Pokemon server I participate in, and I've been requested to review some different matches from this last tournament and just kind of give commentary, say what I would have done differently or what I should have done differently in the case of this match, which is me against Josh. And yeah, I think that's about it. Just give my point of view on things, what I think should have happened rather than what did happen, what I think was good, what I think was bad. So let's go ahead and get this started. I should probably have music in the background. Hold on. I'm gonna go ahead and grab Glitch City again. Uh, I'm just gonna put on like first thing I see. Like Legendary Quartet. We're going back to this. Uh, oh right, and I haven't put on YouTube on my computer since yesterday. Because this is the day after the last video we made. Alright, turn one, Umbreon versus Alakazam. Okay. I mean, I feel like I would anticipate Alakazam to have Focus Blast. And I wouldn't want to stay in with Umbreon because Foul Play is not going to do much because you see Alakazam here has 83 physical attack. Toxic wouldn't work because it's always going to have Magic Guard, right? So I guess you could Wish Protect if you're that set. But yeah, even with Alakazam's abysmal physical defense, it really doesn't do enough. So staying in there is always not a great choice, so I'm kind of curious why AG2K did that. I feel like there I would have Thunder Waved, but I guess that's fair because since it came in, it would have had a move to hit it, obviously. And since it stayed in here, I'm gonna assume it's about to Thunder Punch, right? Or it could Fire Blast again. Yeah. Back to Umbreon is interesting, but calling the Sucker Punch, good play. Uh, okay, so it's the Moonlight set. I would Foul Play here, always. Yeah, okay, good play. Nicely done. Because hold on, I'm gonna go back. I want to see what potential sets this Leaviani could have had. But yeah, it's literally only ever the one set. It is Leaf Blade Return Swords Dance Exeter with this gen. So yes, that was always the right play to make. Uh, so yeah, that was correct. Sacking Ludicolo, good play because I feel like it wasn't ever going to outspeed anything, and I'm assuming it was Specs because I never had the chance to switch up moves. Simipour versus Sableye. The thing is, Dark types aren't immune to Prankster until Gen 7, so... But the Synchronize is nice. Synchronize is very nice. Oh, Burn doing 12% this gen. Forgot about that. So you don't get outpaced there. Okay, Loomis into Garbodor. Yeah, Thunderwave was not bad. Just having to rely on the Parahex, really. That's all you can really do from the looks of things. Otherwise, I would have said you could Foul Play with Umbreon, which I feel like letting it get Will-O-Wisp in the first place was a problem. Because you were always going to want this healthy. And especially with... Oh, wait, actually it has Heal Bell. So that isn't as much of an issue. Um, it's still problematic for when you have it in, especially against Sableye. Because it can always pretty freely taunt and wisp you. It can do that to any mon. But yeah, you see how much that was doing to Garbodor, about 40%. Um, so that's nice. Yeah, and Garbodor does not outpace the healing. As I was say, I feel like you just get away with Moonlighting again. And okay, I would have said keep going, honestly. Wait for Parahex, but also not bad. Yeah, letting Illumis go is probably just the smarter choice there. Simipour. No, that's Parrot. Did you have speed that to begin with? No, actually, the Parrot was very good for you. Uh, okay, I'm guessing there were just no switch-ins there. You just gotta wait for a Focus Blast miss. Miss, not miss. I can speak English, guys. No worries. Uh, at least it was. At least they never set up a second layer of T-spikes, so you didn't have to worry about toxic poison. So theoretically, if you played it right, you could have tried to keep Umbreon healthy. You could have tried to get it healthy again. Uh, I think I've seen the ending turns here already, because AJ ended up winning this. Despite the burn, because I mean, Simisear, Frail, and also it's +2 Excadrill. Even burn, it's gonna go crazy. Garbodor, yep, that one's gone. Okay, so long story short, I think AJ could have played it better. I think there was absolutely room to play it differently. However, he may not have the same information that I did looking at this match with the Chrome extension that I've got. So I wouldn't blame him at all. Um, but I feel like Magic Guard Life Orb is pretty common, so you would never want to stay on an Umbreon. And I would say the switch-in, just looking at the team, always would be a Loomis. And then try to just Thunder Wave it. Right? Just off the start. But I feel like that's the one big flaw that I saw in what he did. Otherwise, I think he played very well. Um, again, I think it stands to reason to say that everyone has room for improvement. So I think it shouldn't be an insult to say that he definitely could have played better, but I think overall he played very well. There are mistakes here and there, but everyone makes those. Second match, I'm gonna make sure this is recording fine. Okay, awesome. Vizardvin versus Cuppu. Let's have a look. I think I did end up witnessing this match. Yeah, I think I was here. Yeah. Fake out into Grand Bull. It's normal double edge Silk Scarf set. With the Intimidate, you always. I feel like since it's always going to try to Thunder Wave you, you're going to want to U-turn out immediately. Yeah. Hatteran try to bounce back Thunder Wave, which was very nicely done on his part. Play rough, did a lot. Nuzzles, nice. You could Draining Kiss because you're AV. Yeah. Because, I mean, I feel like odds are pretty favorable of them either getting parried or missing the play rough. You have decent odds, and even then, you can do it again, Draining Kiss again. It's risky, but I would say it's not bad because you get to weaken it without having to really switch into something else. But this also is good. I would shift you here. Yep. Okay. Floor Cannon. The miss is really unfortunate, but that's also Assault Vest. So that was just really unfortunate for him there. But hold on, I'm gonna cycle back because generally I see that Bastion Legion and I immediately think Assault Vest. And I know that's not what the statistics say here, but I rarely, if ever, see choice specs on this. Like the two sets are always just choice specs, Assault Vest, and Assault Vest I see a whole lot more than I do specs. So if anything, I would have pressed Iron Head twice and hoped for a flinch. I wouldn't have even scouted for AV because I would have been pretty confident in that, and especially seeing the flip turn, that just confirms it to me, right? I feel like Persian would have been very free there as well. But then again, Bastion Legion would have been a very free switch into that. Terra Steel there is interesting, but I guess they're just trying to nuzzle on the Bastion Legion, not realizing they would flip turn. Gothitelle, very nice to have. That confirms Scarf. Which, not healing off the nuzzle damage does immediately tell you that it's Scarf. Locked into Psychic is really unfortunate, but you just gotta hope for drops. Yeah, and they landed the Focus Blast through Para, which is insane. Yeah, free rocks. I would say Solar Beam. Honest to God, I would have Solar Beamed on a potential Basculegion. Oh, Wochian moment here. I wouldn't have gone hard into Mamoswine because, look here, 1.5% on Torkoal. A Grass move would have been absolutely free. Giga Drain would have been so free to try to heal off some of the Rocks damage. It wouldn't have healed up much, but it would have been better than nothing. And Knockoff doesn't do that much. Earthquake predicting a switch. Good play on that part, it just didn't work out. Icicle Crash. Uh, if you did have your band, if you let Torkoal just go down, it would have done so much more. It would have easily 2-hit, even past Protect. Version to get the 4 times U-turn off. And I would never fake out in this situation, because you've already seen that they have a Ghost type, and that's a very free switch in for them. Sacking Torkoal finally, not bad. I feel like the gameplay off the start was very good, and now Viz kind of slowed his roll and let Cuppu kind of get a standing in this match when he absolutely had the room to put on more pressure after Gothitelle went down, and he still didn't really do that. Getting a Toxic on Wochian would be very good if this lands. Awesome. And I have seen this match, I've just forgotten a lot of what happens in this. I just remember the Persian Granbull face-off mostly. Wish, yeah, you can potentially go hard into Torkoal to wish it back up, but I wouldn't go Mamoswine in case they Giga Drained. Because it was entirely possible that on that turn they could have pressed Leech Seed. Because I figure if they're getting health back on something, try to sap it back, I guess. Because if they go Mamoswine, you're not killing them in one hit anyway. Actually, no, I take that back. From where it was, Giga Drain was absolutely the play. But they probably just don't have it, right? They probably just have Ruination. Or Stun Spore. Because, I mean, otherwise they would have shown it by now, right? Unless he's just over-predicting. I'm really curious what the last move on that Wochian was. Because if it was Giga Drain, why did it never come out? Version free knock. Don't know why knock didn't come out, because you guaranteed have that. Toxic on that. Without the plugin, you could potentially think that was Rest Talk before you saw Poltergeist. But one attack isn't very good on that. So this is just Paint Split, I think. It should always have some level of recovery on it. There's the rare set where it doesn't, but that rarely, if ever, happens. Okay, the Wish is nice. Poltergeist was a little odd, because knowing that they were going to Wish Pass, why would you do that when you see a normal type and a mon that can't be hit by Poltergeist, right? The Will-O-Wisp is a little annoying, but I mean, Basculegion is weak enough anyway and has low enough defense that if the Hydro Pump missed, it wouldn't have mattered. Knock up. You know, I forgot about this turn. I questioned a lot then, and I question it a lot now. Why did the Fake Out come out into the Ghost type? I mean, it worked. I mean, it worked. But, I mean, you can understand my confusion, right? Because there's no way you predict the Terra there. Because that never has Aquajet. Just for the record, It's the male one that ever has Aquajet. So Terra watering doesn't make very much sense to me there. Well, actually, no, scratch that. From the perspective of from Vin, fake out to predict Terra water doesn't make very much sense because why would they do it, right? They don't have Aquajet. So you always want to go for the knockoff because you're always going to be hitting them super effectively there, right? And if they Terra, they're going to end up dying anyway. Umbreon just ends the game. And maybe I'm not communicating this super effectively, but it's just, I feel like I lost a couple IQ points in there. No offense to, no offense to Vin, but I feel like Cuppu's Tarot wasn't bad. It was definitely interesting, but him predicting that is insane. That is a whole different level of, I would say, almost insanity. That was incredible. You get a very free knockoff or U-turn here. Yeah, U-turn's better, so you can just come back in, fake out double edge. You can protect to get out of range. However, they can just nasty plot if they have it. Which they're specs, by the way, so no, they wouldn't have it because they didn't take Left Rope Chip. Yep. Okay, that's game. Uh, Summary. I think they both played very interestingly. I think I think Vin could have played better with the team he had. I think I think unless unless Cuppu didn't Terra, he had the win in the bag. In that scenario. Uh, and I think again, some of these plays could have been made very differently and much more effectively, to where it wouldn't be as close as this. But I mean, he still won fairly comfortably. So I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking too critically. Um, this is Monkey versus Cuppu. Speaking of Cuppu, I just got a DM from him. Okay, U-turn is good. Um, Form doesn't get weather moves in this, strangely, but I guess it could just be because it has the chance to be Assault Vest. Um, I'm just interested because I feel like you do have Giga Drain on that. Can that ever be Scarf? No. Hold on, I'm gonna pull up a calc here. I'm just pulling up a calc. Hold on, this is Gen 6. I can spell, guys. Yanmega versus Relicanth. And your specs, guaranteed. Yeah, Giga Drain just kills. You could have absolutely pressed Giga Drain, and since you would have had Tinted Lens, you would have done how much to Genesect? I mean, having the momentum is nice. Okay. Oh wait, no, that's Speed Boost over Tinted Lens. Uh, you still would have done about, well, you would have done 10% off um, from what you did there with U-turns, so that wasn't a, I mean, also keeping momentum, not a bad play, but you're just sending out something that could have also just died to Relicanth. Because that absolutely could have been Choice Band. It absolutely could have been Choice Band Head Smash with Rockhead, which is a gigantic threat. Also, I remember this is revealed later to have Grass Knot, which I was kind of wondering to begin with. Which I feel like the Hydro Pump, again, good play. But I feel like with the start of a random battle, you don't want to predict as much because they're not going to make as many weird plays. And even then, you don't know what they have. You can't play around what you don't know, right? You can try to guess like the approximate typing of what they're going to bring in, but there's no guarantee that they even have that type. So trying to predict that is almost pointless until they've revealed what they have. So I feel like at that point, a Grass Knot would have been pretty free. And I mean, I can calc. I seriously doubt this does anything to Genesect. So hold on, let's just go ahead and put Grass Knot on here. Yeah, okay, that did nothing. But even then, you get the free Hydro Pump, which after all that would have had a roll to kill. Which actually was I wasn't even calculating a Life Orb into that. So yeah, it wouldn't have even been a roll to kill. It would have been a guaranteed kill. Yeah, it was a guaranteed kill from there. You honestly could have safely just pressed Hydro Pump again, knowing that they wouldn't have been switching into Genesect. Spirit Tomb's really heavy. Grass Knot's also pretty free if you want guaranteed damage. Scouting... You could have scouted for Aqua Jet there, which... Okay, it can roll Choice Band in this. I wasn't sure if that set was in Gen 6 or not. Okay, Aqua Jet. Aqua Jet would have killed, because regardless, you're huge power. Magnezone. Uh... Damage seems... I feel like that seems Scarf rather than anything. As I said, just get Shell Smash this gen. You could have probably pressed it versus Genesect, no? I guess it didn't show an item, but it never really had the chance to. So I don't know. Retaliate is also an interesting play, because I feel like... Okay, and especially that Truant turn should not have happened. Neither should the switch into Yanmega. You always should have switched on the Truant turn, because you know that Magnezone could potentially just get that extra chip, and it could bite you in the ass later, right? So I would say staying in on the Truant turn there is generally ill-advised. I would have considered sacking Azumarill in that position to later bring in Slacking. Try to absorb the damage later, but you'll see later that it worked out. Um, which, spoilers. Uh, uh, not Ice Sharding there is interesting, should you have had it, but it shows that you didn't. And yeah, I'm pretty sure it doesn't boost until Gen 8. I'm still pretty sure on that. Stone Edge off the start probably would have done a whole lot more, because, I mean, Rocks doesn't affect you too terribly. I mean, your Mons are already pretty healthy to start with, right? Aerial Ace, that's good. Cast Form. In that situation, Thunder Wave wouldn't have been terrible, which he brings it out later, I'm pretty sure. The burn here is really lucky. Because Scyther absolutely was in a winning position from here. Provided that the Magnezone wasn't Scarf. I don't know that for sure. Okay. Oh yeah, Thunderwave was brought out earlier. That's how we knew that it had it. I was like, oh, I thought it Thunderwave here, but no. I think at this point, there was a bit of a misplay, because you know that Return isn't going to be killing. And, I mean, if you get the crit, it might put it out of Belly Drum range and you could win. So that's a potential strategy there. You clearly don't have Thunderbolt at this point. Otherwise, it probably would have been shown off versus Scyther. Would have been shown off here. So last move was probably Ice Beam. Right? I feel like last move probably Ice Beam. But you see from here, I mean, you can Waterfall into Azumarill here, but it's not going to change anything. So you should have Thunder Waved and just hoped for luck at that point, because there was no win condition for you. Otherwise, you would have just had to have got lucky. You would have had to stop him from belly drumming, get the damage, or potentially stop on Aqua Jet from coming in, right? That was your best shot. Uh, so I don't know. I feel like with this team, you could have it had a lot of potential with this team. This team also is insane. Leftovers Relicanth, Head Smash, potential Toxic. Uh, but I think it's more likely for it to have been 3 attack stealth rocks more than anything. Regardless, head smash, insane move, especially from Relicanth. It really benefits them on. Genesect, no matter the set, is insane. I mean, look at the sets here. It's incredible. It's a great mon, especially with download. Spiritomb, I feel like also had a lot of potential because Rest Talk is just a really annoying set. If it weren't to be brought down by Simipour, then that could have been a huge threat versus this team. Azumarill, put in its job, put in its work. It did really well. Slacking, Giga Impact, Retaliate. Could have been played a little better, but it still worked out in the end. Um, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that was the best way to put it, to work with it. Just to spam Retaliate until you finally were provided a better opportunity to switch. Scyther, I think, was played perfectly, right to a T. Young Mega with just spamming Bug Buzz versus this entire team would have been good. Bug Buzz, Air Slash, Giga Drain, Cast Form. Also, honestly, could have been really dangerous if it had Thunderbolt instead. Because, I mean, this team versus Thunderbolt kind of just falls. I mean, look at the first Mon, fourth Mon, sixth Mon. Although Cypher was a Violite. Simipour put in a lot of work here. Honestly, it's very rare that you get to see one of these Pokemon in random battles to begin with. Because you have to go back a couple generations, and generally when you go back a couple generations, not a lot of people are playing that. So it's hard to ladder on there and actually get consistent games. Magnezone, I still don't know if it was Scarf or Specs. I could calc to figure it out. I'm pretty sure it was just Scarf. But considering how it was played, I think it might have just been Specs. Because I may just be overestimating Magnezone's attack. Huntail, I feel like could have had a moment to potentially set up versus say Spiritomb. Um, Donphan, I feel like didn't really do much aside from get rid of rocks, really. I mean, it threatened Scyther, but that's about it. Um, Overall, I feel like Monkey absolutely had the room to win this. Cuppu, I think he played really well, all things considered. I feel like when you have Slacking on your team, though, you need to make room to switch around, and Spiritomb is your best tank to just switch in on, just to pivot in. So I feel like that could have been played differently, but he still played well either way. He still played really well. This is one of my matches. Boy, can't wait to look at this and just criticize every single move I've ever made in my life. Oh, I remember this match. Okay, this is a fun one. I wish I was rattled over Serene Grace. Because getting that speed boost would have been really helpful. I remember this was banded. I was wondering if it was Scarf or banned the entire time, but I was like, oh, that damage is... Well, like, my thought process on that switch into Ledian, after it was hit with a knockoff, I was like, oh, it's banned. Wait, no, it's not. Ledian just really sucks. Like, look at Ledian's defense. 157. You know, this entire match, I was trashing on Ledian during the commentary. So you guys might remember this. Air Slash, I feel like, always just the best move to try to get the para hacks. After the first turn there, I probably should have pressed knockoff. Because I was Air Slash Roost Toxic knockoff. But the thing is, this is Z. And I also, looking at this, I should have gone, you know what? That has a very high chance to be a Z move user. I should sack. I should just switch into something and sack. Or I should have gone directly into Rotom, if I'm going to be entirely honest, rather than pressing knockoff. Because going into Dunsparce here was a throw. Also, here I should not have pressed. I shouldn't have pressed Glare. I should have absolutely pressed either Roost or Earthquake. Because you see, this really didn't go too well for me here. It severely damaged Rotom, killed Dunsparce, uh, and I was left with a very... Okay, Rotom Heat is probably one of my favorite forms of Rotom, if I'm going to be entirely real. I won my first ever tournament with it. Like, the first ever tournament I played, I won primarily using Rotom Heat and Volcarona, because it was Monotype, and I was handed the Fire type. Um, which, if we still had the replays, I would have done a video recapping it, but unfortunately, with Showdown replays corrupting a while back, I unfortunately can't look back at those. Uh, but yeah, Rotom should not have been so easily thrown away there. Which, I mean, I still got to use it a little bit, but I kind of threw that away way too easily. Roosting there, always good. I don't fully understand why Tropius came in here. I feel like you could have just gone Weavile and pressed Banded Ice Shard. Toxicking this, very good. Very good to get Toxic on that. And it's just free spam Roosts, because this is when healing moves weren't heavily nerfed. Air Slash is free, but I didn't press it because I wanted to knock off the Berry. Potentially, because especially with it potentially pivoting in and out once it's gotten to Citrus Berry range, it's just going to take a minute to actually get it down to last mon or to where it doesn't want to pivot around to try to kill it. Now, I was trashing on Ledian up until this point, and then there was a little bit of silence after I hit that with an Air Slash, which I think is hilarious, because I was like, oh, wow. I mean, just looking at it, 167 Spatak and 199 Spadef, super effective or not, I feel like 57% is not real damage from a Ledian of all Pokemon. Uh, I wanted to get rid of the weakness policy, even if they pressed Stone Edge there, because I knew that it was going to be a gigantic threat to my team. If I hit it with a super effective move and it didn't die, and my best switch-in, like my best way to handle this was Carnivine. And it has Solid Rock, it has really good defense, so my best bet was always to go into Carnivine. And I actually forgot that Carnivine wasn't fast. Like, looking at it, you'd just think that it was fast, but no, it's slow Boltimon. Finally knocked off the berry, which is super nice. Switched into Rotom because it was always just gonna Air Slash or Leech Seed. Overheat, always best move here, honestly. Actually, no, Volt Switch isn't bad, but they could have easily gone Rhyperior. So trying to get rid of Rhyperior would have been nice, but not a bad expectation to think they were just gonna throw Tropius away. Ledian, I wanted to get damage there. 5% miss is really unfortunate, because let's just see how much that would have done. This is Gen 7. Ledian, I can spell guys, no worries. No worries. Yeah, that would have done half its health if I landed there, which is really, really unfortunate. I knew that it was banded at that point, because Ledian still has bed. So I was free to just go in and get healing off. I'm pretty sure I was Pain Split on this, and I just never really got a good chance to use it. So if I were Pain Split, I probably should have used it here. Okay, I was Pain Split. Awesome. I didn't remember, honestly. It's only been a couple days. It's been 5 days. Because I'm recording it on the day of a certain national tragedy. Not revealing Polycode until the end was very good. I'm pretty sure... Yeah, it was just leftovers. I was like, was it Specs? I couldn't remember. But no, the Specs set doesn't exist yet. Close combat, getting me down to 6%. Now, if that Air Slash landed, that would have died. Right then and there. So that 5% miss actually kind of screwed things up a little bit. Polytoad would have survived. Golisopod also should have been the switch-in rather than Sock. Because while it was weak enough as it was, first impression, knockoff, yeah, you had options to do damage. and then go into Sock afterwards. I knew that it was locked in, obviously, otherwise I wouldn't have pressed Calm Mind after it showed Stone Edge before, and Knockoff. And I was like, okay, I don't want to get greedy. I'm just going to press Sword Power. Um, I probably should have pressed Heat Wave on a potential switch to Weavile. But I mean, overall, not bad. And also, I'm ashamed to say that I didn't really realize that this was choice banded until last second here. And I was like, oh wait, that didn't take Life Orb chip. I was wondering if it had been locked in, but I didn't really look at the thing here. Power Whip Land was really lucky. Although I'm just gonna say, I don't know how much HP Carnivine actually has. Let me look real quick. 304. Okay, that damage makes a little bit more sense there, but Banded Ice Shard from Weavile doing 47% only. It just doesn't feel right, you know? It feels like even with a 40 base power move, it should be doing more. Uh, Now, that does wrap up the tournament games that I was going to show off today. And I'm not sure I even really want to give a summary here, because I mean, I feel like I played that really badly, especially, I feel like I played that really poorly, especially towards the start with Dunsparce from Klinklang. That definitely could have been different. Um, what I mean, man, look at the two different teams. There was one clearly better team than the other here. Uh, like the only thing here that I would say doesn't count as a shitmon, frankly, would be Rotom. Rotom's the only like properly decent offensive mon here. Uh, However, anyway, that wraps up the tournament games, but, from this tournament at least. But there's one more match that I promised to show off. Me versus Smash on his old account. Uh, this is a very funny game. This is what I was talking about in the last video. Leading Apom to Muck, I made the worst play ever, and I pressed return into a bulky mon all around. They pressed curse. He should have honestly kept pressing curse, because he had rest, guaranteed. Curse, like, just cursing up would have been so free. So he probably should have been doing that. That was a mistake on my part to stay in. And here comes the champion. Hidden Power Ground with Hustle. Also, I'm realizing it doesn't even show the sets. Like, it doesn't go as far back, all the sets in Gen 3. So you don't even see the ones on Delibird. But hold on. To reiterate, Delibird's set, I think it was Hidden Power Ground, um, Aerial Ace, Drill... Was it Drill Peck? I think it might have been Brave Bird. And I think it was... It was an Ice Move. I think it was just Ice Shard. Um, and it was also Choice Banded with Hustle. So, kind of a nuke, all things considered, even though... Let's just go back to Gen 3 Calc. Let's look at Delibird's attack. 162. Oh, wait, no. Last move was Focus Punch. Okay. I'm ashamed for forgetting that. Uh, okay, I Swords Dance in case they switched. Because they probably should have known that I was Hidden Power Ground at that point. But they predicted afterwards, because I needed to Swords Dance up to begin with. I needed a Swords Dance up to begin with to even really do anything to Registeel. Hidden Power Ground was thankfully physical in that gen. I should have pressed it again, honestly, knowing that they would go hard into Registeel. And I'm pretty sure I pressed... Oh, I did just press Hidden Power there, and they just rested it off, which was their first mistake. Now, my team had no answers to this Pokemon, and by the way, this was in the finals. This was in the finals of this tournament. I could probably... Hold on, I'm gonna go back into the Discord. I'm gonna look for this. I don't remember. At least I'm pretty sure this was finals. It was, yeah, it was me versus Smash in grand finals. So let me... There should have been a recap for this. Where was the recap? It's not showing a recap for this, uh, unfortunately. But anyway, uh, it was 4-2. I don't remember if this was the last match or not. Hold on. I can try to search in the Discord. Um, uh, yeah, this was the final match. This was the final match of grand finals of this tournament. So all of it, um, like it was on the line for me. Uh, and I did the stupidest thing ever. Hustle Focus Punch into a sleeping Pokemon with Sleep Talk. It had one attack and Seismic Toss. It hit, and it KO'd. Now, for the frame of reference, I want you guys to understand that if it rolled Seismic Toss and it hit me, he would have switched into probably Gligar. So that was a one-time trick. I could not have done that again in the entire battle. That was the one opportunity I ever would have had to break that Registeel. So obviously, switched out of Delibird, knowing that he was always going to attack here because I just shut out his locked into Focus Punch. Always going to attack, so I went into Ludicolo. Which also, just want to point this out, 2 KOs for Delibird so far. 2 KOs. Just Ice Beam, wanted to get damage on it. And I just wanted to continue to get damage, so I kept spamming Ice Beam until I died. And then I brought out another monster, uh, Double Edge. I stayed in on the Truant turn because I didn't really have anything I wanted to pivot into. Plus, I knew Gligar wasn't going to be doing too much against me. In that turn, at least. Like, they needed a Swords Dance to really threaten it. So I just pressed Double Edge again. They went back into Venusaur, so I went into Victory Bell because I knew they couldn't Leech Seed me if they had it. So I just started pressing Sludge Bomb. Already gonna Intimidate, lowers the attack of Sludge Bomb in this gen because Poison is physical. They just Double Edge in the main, lower me to 10%. Sludge Bomb him again. So Victory Bell got a kill, which is nice. Slacking got a kill, Victory Bell got a kill, Delibird got 2 kills so far. Slacking got another kill. And last mod, here was my thought. I needed to land a hit with Hustle, otherwise they would just Substitute, and they could potentially stall me out with Substitute Leech Seed versus Slacking. Especially with Toxic here, I needed to land a move very soon. Literally this turn. I was just looking at my moves going, oh, what do I do, what do I do, what do I do? I literally just have to press a move, right? And then I saw my saving grace. If you look in the calc here, you might see a certain move that bypasses the Hustle accuracy debuff because it has unlimited accuracy and I still get boosted attack. So, Delibird won me that whole tournament. That whole tournament. It brought me it brought me the champion title. I think that is possibly the funniest game I have ever played. Because everyone trashes on Delibird. Delibird sucks. I'll say it. Delibird sucks. It's terrible. But here I am, using Delibird to win a tournament. And I've actually got another replay where it's just Delibird in a modern gen. I think it was Gen 9. Delibird just ruined my opponent off of the start, and they ended up forfeiting like 3 or 4 turns in. I got rid of like the first 2 or 3 mobs. It wasn't even abandoned, I think. So yeah, that's insane, right? uh, but yeah, I'm gonna wrap up the video here. Hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like, subscribe, comment, all that. And I'll see you guys for my next match, which is probably soon, I would say, because I think AJ2K said he wanted to fight me today, because he had an exam yesterday. Otherwise, I would have picked it up again yesterday after the battle with what's his name, Smash. Yeah, see you guys later.